$215 billion. One almost runs out of adjectives. That is the revenue target Nvidia has set its sights on for fiscal 2026, a sum large enough to make even seasoned analysts pause and perhaps recheck their calculators. In most industries, that would qualify as sheer dominance. In this one, it appears to be just Tuesday. $68 billion in revenue for one single quarter. But forget the revenue for a second. I know that is a little hard for you to do, but this might help divert your mind. The profit. We did the calculations and here is what they revealed. In the last 90 days, Nvidia generated nearly $500 million in pure profit every single day. So basically, every morning Jensen Huang wakes up, the company has made another $500 million. I just wonder if Jensen, before going to bed, counts sheep or counts shipments. Please do let us know in the comments below. Anyway, moving on. If you are thinking that this is no longer merely a chip company, you are right. Because it has started to resemble an economic power in its own right. But before we go any further, if you've been watching, commenting and following along, I want to thank you. That conversation is what builds this community. We are looking for a name for it. Please leave your suggestions below. We'll of course choose the one that fits best. And if you believe more people should be paying attention to these kind of shifts, share the video. Let's widen the discussion. You know what? I'm still stuck with how do you do that? Which is, how do you make $500 million in profit a day? Okay. Now I get it. One does not just sell chips, one sells the factory. What a relief. Jensen Huang calls it rack scale computing. In Q4, data center revenue hits actually $62 billion, which is 90% of their business. Nvidia realized something the competition missed, which is if you own the hardware and the software and the cables connecting them, well, all you own is the customer. Which brings us to the margin miracle. Hardware is supposed to be a low margin business. So for example, you make a toaster, you make, well, 10%. Nvidia are posting gross margins above 71%. Why? Because, well, they have zero competition. They have the pricing power. So if they say a Blackwell rack costs, well, $3 million, you pay $3 million because the alternative is not having AI. They have turned silicon into luxury goods. So what is next? Jensen gave us a new phrase, Agentic AI. Forget asking ChatGPT to write a poem. We are actually moving towards AI agents, software which doesn't just talk, it actually acts. And by acting, we mean it books the flight, it writes the code, it runs the assembly line, which requires massive reasoning power, and that is why they have announced Rubin, the final boss of chips, coming to a data center near you, probably in late 2026. For a long time, gamers were the loyal fan team of Nvidia. They followed every launch, argued over frame rates, upgraded year after year. But in 2026, there was no gaming architecture. After 3 decades of steady releases, that absence stood out as a stark reality. Because selling a card to a gamer for $500 is not the wisest business decision when one can sell the same silicon to Microsoft for $30,000. Gaming now accounts for only 8% of Nvidia's revenue. The audience, which is of course the gaming community that built the brand, is still there. It is just no longer the main priority. And here of course, as always, is the front page take. If you thought 68 billion was massive, Nvidia is saying, please hold my chip, because $78 billion is the forecast for the next quarter. And the point to be noted, they are doing this without any contribution from China's data center markets. The demand is so high, they don't even need the world's second biggest economy. Wow. All I can say to you is that if you are betting against this, you aren't just betting against a stock, you are betting against a new industrial revolution. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.